I think it's time to start. We're going. You ready?
Yeah.
All right.
Coming through.
All right. We are back at another stellar episode here at the Pickleball Show with Curtis Reese. And I'm going straight to this guest because he's an amazing man and he's an amazing entrepreneur. And he has a big vision for ratings and all that automated stuff that scares the crap out of the world. Hi, welcome to the show. I'm Curtis Reese. Please subscribe, say hi, hello, comment. We're talking to Mr. Mike Barker of VAIR. Is that correct? How you doing, Mike?
Doing great. Glad to be on this call with you.
Tell us what's happening with your. Tell us what you're doing in the way of pickleball. What are you doing with pickleball, and tell us all about your company and everything you got on.
So basically, with pickleball, as we all got onto it, most of us probably 4 years ago, 3-4 years ago, we were just looking around, and you get playing the game, and you get to be at different levels of the game, and you go to an open play, and you start playing with people that are way above you or way below you, and it gets to be frustrating for everyone out there, right? So the 70% of the population that plays pickleball, they just want to have clean, fun, along the same lines of level games. So as that was being done, I was looking at various systems out there and various ways to do it, and they just didn't seem to appeal to me. So about April of last year, I decided that I was going to take a stab at it myself. I've done a lot of different things as an entrepreneur. And one of these ones was I decided to be, a pickleball rater, I should say.
Yeah.
And we got a unique way of doing it. We have a lot of unique things built into VAIR. I think it's taken on the world by storm. We are processed and ready to go into 19 different countries.
Wow.
We're already in a few of those as we speak. We're partnered with a couple different camera companies, some pickleball machines,
Wow.
pickleball, whatever you call them, throwing the
Pickleball machines.
Yeah.
Like
a lot of different tournament software and different various apps, which a lot of them I don't want to say right at the moment.
Sure.
We're in process of opening it all up in the next 30 days. So probably after this thing is aired, probably a bunch of the announcements are to be made, and we're excited about it. I just got off a call with another gentleman that has another unique way of rating people, and he's very excited. There could be a collaboration with that, which I thought it was pretty unique. It's a different way of looking at it. And I was like, oh, well, maybe we can gamification it.
Gamification. I like that.
Because part of our system is we're finishing up. One thing about our algorithm, it'll show you the probability of, win-loss percentage, what the score should be, the surprise factor that game was, and all that's there the minute after you play the game, but it's already in the system, right? The system's already using it. So we're just going to put it out on a website where you'll be able to put in the 4 players, no matter who they are, and it'll tell you what the outcome of the game should be and what the score would be.
Yeah.
And you could actually bet against it.
I'm looking at this thing that Romy sent me. I've already done all this stuff. He sent me a link to VAIR and like the ambassador. I'm like, hold on, man. I haven't even. Calm down. I love the intensity, man. But I gotta get in there and see what's up. I can't just say yes before we got a date before we go out again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. 100%. I mean, he's excited. He's up in I think Dallas right now with his son and a few other people.
Oh, they're in Dallas? I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're going to 3 different clubs to get them on board with it. Wow. They've been blowing it up. They've got it over in Vietnam now.
I saw that.
The gentleman took it over there.
Wow.
Costa Rica. It's really growing like leaps and bounds. I mean, it's accurate. It's accurate. It's fast. We have a lot of safe havens in there for the people that are having all kinds of other problems with different things out there with the ratings. And we fixed a lot of the problems. We have two sides to the system. We're bringing in wheelchair. I promised the guys that I would get that done, and that's about 5 days away. So probably by the time this airs, I don't know how fast you put this out there. The wheelchairs will already be up there.
Who'd you talk to in wheelchair?
I'd have to look that up. I know you would ask me that right now.
Is it? That's okay. I thought is it Chip?
He plays in Naples with a bunch of other guys, and he came to me after one of the conventions I went to in West Palm Beach. And he says, we can't get a rating system that will work with us to do wheelchairs. And I, got down on my one knee, obviously, and I looked him in the eyes and I said, well, we can do that. And so we pretty much have it done. I mean, you can sign up right now with our system. You just can't put the games in for the wheelchair or able body with a wheelchair player, right? So we'll have all those different scenarios.
Was the last name Parmalee?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, man. I know him. His name's Chip Parmalee. Yeah, we did some work last year at the Veterans thing in New Orleans.
Yes.
The United States Wheelchair Association League he just started last year. Yeah. Chip Parmalee. Good friend of mine. I met him in 98 when he was doing wheelchair with Randy Snow, who, rest his soul, he was one of the best wheelchair players ever. Randy Snow was. Okay, well, that's great. Well, that's even better. I need to call Chip. All right, well, let's keep going. So let's talk. So tell us, I've got a few people who are asking how did they put their information in there? Does it pull from DUPR? Does it pull from other websites? Or how do they get these ratings that you're talking about?
So like all the other sites, there's two different sides ours, though. There's the recreational side and then the verified side. So on the recreational side, it's more or less like all the rest of the sites out there. You can self-rate yourself. You can have someone tell you what they think their rating is, and you can put it into the system. And that's all cool. You can put your games in, and the ratings will go up and down, and it'll use the algorithm in an aggressive way. But the only part about that is there's too many unknowns that can happen.
Oh, yeah.
There's a guy that can say he's an 8-0 player just because he wants to be funny, and then he goes and puts himself down as a self-rated 8-0 player, and then he goes plays with everybody else, and it screws everybody's algorithm up. That's what's going on.
There you go.
That's what's going on with all the rest of the algorithm, because there's no static starting point. There's no real way to get a true rating of a player.
Wow. So
we built a system on the verified side that gives them a verified rating. So you have to be in front of a certified rater for VAIR, and then they can certify and rate you pretty close, I would say, to exactly what you would be in anyone's eyes. But the system is very accurate that way. So if someone's in New York City or Florida or California, they're going to get rated the same with the same evaluation, in any of the states, where a lot of times people will say, oh, well, New York players think they're, 4-0 players up there. Then they go down to Florida and they realize they're probably 3-5 players. So all that's been fixed, right?
Oh, wow. Okay.
We rate a player. It could be in another country, right? We're hearing right now that players in the other country, they don't have any idea what their ratings are, right? So everybody thinks they're a 4-0 because they're playing with their friends over there. But once you start bringing rating systems over there, then they're going to be rated correctly, and then they'll be equal if they come back over to the States or to another country, as long as they've been certified and rated.
Wow.
When you do that on our side of our system, that creates basically the most accurate rating system you could possibly have, because there's no outside influence screwing it up.
Wow.
We have a lot of other safety things in place, and then you got the algorithm. The algorithm can take a lot of different factors in, and it has a lot of different engines, I call it, versus all the other algorithms out there. And so it makes it very accurate and precise. We actually took, I won't say their names, but we took a couple players from the other system that played in, one of the PPA tournaments, and we ran their ratings through it. And it was pretty interesting to see our rate compared to the others. I think people would have liked it a lot more, but obviously I'm not going to use their names and say that just because privacy.
You can use my name. I'm fine with that. No, I'm just kidding.
Great. Eventually we'll get to those players and we'll be able to say, hey, we'd like to use this or whatever, and go from there. But we have a lot of senior pros and stuff, as Romy would tell you. We're looking at helping the NPL if we can.
Yeah.
For their ratings and stuff, but we also take into effect gender and age. And people, there's a few people out there that try to say, well, a rating's a rating. Well, if a rating is a rating based on your ability to play before you go and play in a game, right? For instance, if I give you a score of a 3.5, right? It doesn't matter what your age is, but that's your skill set. The minute you go out on the court and you start playing other players, your rating is going to go up and down, correct? Well, if you're playing a bunch of 20-year-olds and you still have a skill set of 3.5 and they have a skill set of 3.5, but they're a lot faster on the court, that's going to make it a lot harder for you to compete because now you have the age factor, right?
Yep.
And so some people say, wow, that's still their rating. Well, that's not right, because if you wanted to go that route, then everybody should have a ranking.
True.
Because if everybody, like, say there's 1 million players, and if, you're 3.5 and I'm a 3.5, well, maybe you're 5,000,001 and I'm 5,000,002, and that's my ranking.
Yeah.
That's not my rating, right? Where we can actually say, I'm 61, let's go out and play on a court. And if I'm a 4-0 player at 61, well, playing against a bunch of 22-year-olds that are, athletes and, just got off a soccer field or whatever, maybe a 3.75, a 3.80, right?
Yeah.
And now if I wanted to play in a league alongside those, then I could use that separate rating to be more efficient and more accurate and a lot more fun.
So tell us about this. We're speaking with Mike Barker, the owner, this CEO and founder of VAIR, which is a rating system that's on its way out to wheelchair, adult, senior, everything. Tons of stuff it's going to be out to. I think it's really good, and I feel like it's a good change because guess what? Everything is going to be compromised. Everything in life, that, and nothing stays the same. Because if it does, that's not how life works. That's not how life works.
I agree.
So
I agree.
How did you get what's your background, Michael? How did you get your start in the racket sports? And, my last question would be what trends do you see forward going with pickleball and in your rating system? So we'll start with how you got started in the rating systems and all that.
So I used to play semi-pro football, and I played that till I was 39 years old, and I did a lot of coaching as well. But through all those years, we played racquetball for fun, right? Yep. And so once that started going away, like the racquetball courts started, getting replaced with different gym equipment or whatever, and the racquetball centers were leaving. Even the tennis centers, indoor tennis centers in upstate New York were leaving. Oh, yeah. So as all that was transitioning, obviously it left a void, right? What do you do now? And what happened was once I got done playing football, there was not a lot of things other than golf or, more sedentary stuff to do as you got older, right? You're not going to run around the football field with a bunch of young kids playing flag football and get your head torn off or whatever. So you kind of started to stay away from all that. Well, during COVID, obviously I started playing pickleball. And once I did, it was very exciting to have that competitive level, to be able to run around, jump, not have to run marathons to do it and things like that, climb mountains, the whole bit. So that became very exciting, and it became like a game again to me, offense, defense, where's the player on the other side of the court? What do you want to do with the ball? How's your partner working with you? Like, it became a team sport again. That was exciting for me. So doing that's when it come about with the whole, we need to be able to segregate the players to have a lot more fun, right?
Yes.
Because I started realizing I drive a half hour at the time when pickleball courts were sparse, and I would go play on a Saturday morning from 9 to 12, and I'd be all excited. And I'm like, I'm going to play a bunch of games, and I'm going to go out and have fun. And then I would get in this rotation where I'd be playing with, somebody that was, say, a 2-0 player, and then you'd have a 3-0 player on the court, and then you'd have, a 3-2 player, and you sit there and go, I just wasted 2.5 hours of my life because I actually got one game in. Or You waited for a lot of those players to get tired and go home so you could start playing the meaningful games.
Yeah.
And when I said,
It's true.
this needs to be a rating system that works and makes these games, efficient. So when you go there for 2 hours, you're actually playing with
Correct.
likewise. So that's what started me with all that. As far as being the idea of it, as I've been an entrepreneur my whole life. I mean, during COVID, I built a system similar to DoorDash and Grubhub for a bunch of restaurants that's still going.
Wow.
And I did that. It was pretty funny because a person came to me because I had a different business. It had to do with geofencing and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But then when COVID hit, it kind of shut it down because all the business got shut down. So I couldn't sit there and want to build businesses that weren't in business. You know what I mean? I just couldn't do it. So I basically shut the business down. And I had a gentleman come to me and say, you know what? DoorDash and Grubhub, they were charging 30% on this, that. We can't make any money. Could you build a system similar for that?
Hmm.
I'll be totally honest with you, Curtis.
Yeah.
It took about 2 hours to realize that they had nothing proprietary at all that they were doing.
Oh, wow.
And it took us about another 4 days with me and one of my friends that's now the CTO of VAIR to build the system. And we launched 7 days later, and restaurants were coming on board. It's a lot of extra work, right? It was something I did for about 35 restaurants, some in New York, some in Florida. Because when I went to Florida for the one, I said, hey, I'm just going around a couple of restaurants and show them how I could save them some money.
Yeah.
I did all that. So when it's come to the fact of trying to take on an industry, it wasn't even that. It was saying there's 40 million pickleball players, I mean, give or take, right?
Sure.
There's companies out there got 1 million here, 400,000 there. I'm like, you know what? All I really need to do is play in the same sandbox and get myself up to 5 million customers. That's it.
Yeah.
5 million customers. I monetize it the way I do it. Everybody makes money. I do a community split where the coaches and ambassadors all make money on it. So they're not all just out there, working for free. Mm-hmm. And everybody's excited and they're all jumping on. And that's how people have said to me, how are you going to gain traction? And when I show them the system, they're like, yeah. So the bulb goes off. And that's not take away. I do have the most accurate and advanced rating system.
When's this going to hit? When's this coming out?
The rating system?
Yep, everything. When's it going to be?
It's already out.
It's live. It's on stage. It's ready to go.
Yeah. People are using it. They've been using it.
All right, I'm going to be using it whenever we get settled in here in a few weeks at the JCC of Dallas. Jewish Community Center of Dallas. We have 6 indoor courts and 4 outdoor that are not designated that will be. But yeah, we're going to start using this. So I'll be using it. So I'll be able to tell you guys how good or bad it is, but I'm pretty sure from talking to them it's going to be pretty good. So if people want to get in touch with you, Mike, how would they do that?
They can go to verified.com, VAIRIFIED.com. To fill out the contact form. I oversee everything that comes in, so I would definitely pick up on that, get back to anybody that wanted my attention. And that would be one way of doing it, or reach out to our various certified raters or coaches.
In your state or city, right?
Yep.
All right, cool. All right, well, look, I can be reached at Curtis at ReeseBracketSports.com. Well, Mike, can we have you back on in a few months to see how things are going, or you think you're going to be too busy for us?
Yeah, I definitely would be back on. I appreciate your time.
Thank you. Well, are you coming to Dallas anytime soon?
Not anytime soon, unless something going on. Well, maybe Romy's team. Maybe Romy's team will be playing. I'll have to come there and watch. I sponsor the Boca Surge team. So
all right, I might have a few presents for you from able to consult for some new opening places. So, all right. Well, listen, I'm gonna get out of here. Anything else you want to tell everybody before we leave?
Pardon?
Anything else you want to tell anybody before we leave?
Just thank you for your time, and I hope I didn't bore you with my conversation.
Shut up, man. You didn't bore me. I'm the one that's probably boring you because, that's how nuts I am. We got to go. I don't want to scare him off. He's coming back on because he loves us.
Coming through.
All right, Mike. Thanks a bunch for coming on.
All right. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
We'll talk to you soon.